What's up, it's your boy TeK RaJ, and I'm back for episode number 2 of our career mode with our balanced running back TeK RaJ for the Oakland Raiders. After the first preseason game, I can't lie, but you know, I felt good about myself. So I went out to the practice field and I started hitting the reps pretty hard. And it felt really good running behind that offensive line and behind Michael Reese. But unfortunately, like any young guy out there, you're gonna start feeling yourself whenever you get a certain amount of success. Now, one of the main things that I noticed was I was like, man, is it gonna be really this easy for me to run through the league? If it is this easy, I'm gonna break the single season rushing record in my first year. The second thing that I noticed was we had some pretty stout defenses that we were going against in the preseason. Now, the Rams ain't no joke, and neither are the Vikings. But in the second and third preseason games, I gotta say that I had a rude awakening and I realized that I was indeed in the NFL. Now, we were still going to the toss play and it was working very, very well, but the Vikings were kind of smartening up to it. So, to get off topic a little bit, one of the things that I really like about this year's Madden is that they did try to add more to the career mode. As you can see right there, I ran with the 0-1 trap. We had a nice little gain on 2nd and 10. But unfortunately, we got the holding call for our tight end. So 2nd and 20, I try to go for the screen pass. And right here, the linebacker sniffed it out and just chunked me all the way down back to the field. Now, that was Derek Carr's first completion. Another thing is that I noticed that Derek Carr does have a strong arm, but unfortunately, he is not that accurate right now, which is going to maybe cause some problems. Also, as you saw there, the offensive line run blocks very well, but as far as pass blocking, they're not the best. And particularly our right tackle, right here, as you see, just gets shoved to the side. He's 73 overall, and he is our worst offensive lineman on the line. So right here, I try to scamper for the first down. It was 2nd and 12. I only got 9 yards and I wasn't able to get to the first down. So what I really noticed was I was going to have to mix it up and I was going to have to rely on Derek Carr's arm if we wanted to make it far. Now, the sample sizes that you guys have been seeing in these career modes have only been for a quarter at a time, and then I get put out. So even though we got the win here in the second game, I could tell that maybe we were going to have some issues. And I had to make sure that our offense didn't get one-dimensional. Now, after this game, I had 4 carries for 28 yards, no touchdowns. And then, like I told you, we faced another difficult defense in game number 3 with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Arizona Cardinals have an amazing front 4 or 3, depending on what they're playing on the line of scrimmage. And their safeties are pretty good too. But right here, starting off the game, we go with the screen pass. And I get a pretty nice gain right there, right before I was tackled. Now, this is one of the parts of my game that I really want to develop. It's the passing side of our offense and of my game. I want to make sure my route running is on point so I can call more passing plays. And I want to make sure that my catching is pretty good. It's around the 70s right now, so I think that's pretty straight. Right here, I go up the middle. And I need to get my trucking up because I want to be able to run over some of these players. And right here, you can really see the speed. Right there, Pat Pete with the tackle. And we get another holding call on the very same tight end. Now, in real life, I'm more of a fan of Rivera, the backup tight end, I guess, of the Oakland Raiders. He had a big season last year. I don't know who this tight end right here is, and he hasn't really done much so far in the preseason for us. 3rd and 5, I get the toss play out right here, and I know I've been abusing it. You saw me abusing it in the Ultimate Team with Christian Okoye. I was trying to abuse it here, but defenses are gonna smarten up. So 1st and 10 on the very next drive right here, I get hit in the backfield. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. It was games like this where I really needed our receivers to come through for us, and unfortunately they weren't. Now, Amari Cooper had some highlights in the last episode for our first preseason game, but in this game particularly, he wasn't doing a good job at all, and it just felt like him and Derek Carr really weren't in sync. Maybe it was Pat Pete covering him and whatnot. And speaking of Pat Pete, if you saw this game in real life, and I'm talking about the 3rd real preseason game that just happened this last weekend for the Raiders, Amari Cooper was straight up owning Pat Pete. Cardinals fans that are listening to this, don't get upset at me. As you can see that Derek Carr gets sacked right there before he throws it to us. I don't think Patrick Peterson is that great. I think he's a dynamic athlete. I think he did amazing things at LSU, but I constantly see highlights of him getting just beat horribly by corners, and they regard him as though he's some kind of shutdown corner. He almost made the cover of Madden. So once again, as you can see here, we didn't score any points, neither did the reserves. And we end up losing our first preseason game 9-0. It's preseason, who cares? But that really scared me about going into this game. Going into this game against the Seattle Seahawks, I figured if I had trouble against the Cardinals defense, I was gonna have trouble against the Seahawks defense. Anyway, in the comment section below, let me know what you think about Pat Pete. I think it was funny whenever I saw the feud between Pat Pete and Richard Sherman. I think Richard Sherman talks way too much trash. And another thing is, how is Earl Thomas? Earl Thomas returning kickoffs for the Seahawks. Man, Madden's hilarious because they also have me as starting running back returning kickoffs. I haven't shown you those because there's not much to show there. Right here you see Derek Carr's stats, and even though they look great on paper, he obviously hasn't had the great preseasons. Anyway, I came out determined, man. You know what? I needed to be more patient in this game. I needed to make sure that offensively we switched up our play calls. And man, the Seahawks have some speed on defense. They also have some very high football IQ guys. 3rd and 1, I had it, and right here I went straight up against Bobby Wagner, and I had just enough strength to get the first down and make sure the drive was still intact. 2nd and 10 after an incomplete ball right here. I tried to turn the corner, but unfortunately I got run down, and I was only able to go for a short gain. Right there you saw that up until this point I had 4 carries for 14 yards. 3rd and 6. We go for the pass, and right here Amari Cooper with the nice catch one-on-one with Richard Sherman. So as we bring back right here the replay, I was very happy to see this because that's whenever I wanted to see how his route running was going to be in game. And Derek Carr throwing under pressure to a tight window completes it. So 1st and 10, very next play, I give another opportunity to throw the ball, and once again, this highlight is quickly becoming the Amari Cooper show. You can't see it from the zoomed camera angle, but we're going to run it back right here on the replay. Amari Cooper against that zone defense, which is a lot of what the Seahawks call. And same thing again, Derek Carr under pressure and in a tight window throws it to Amari Cooper, and he tiptoes the sideline. Later on the drive, 1st and 10, I get the ball right up the middle. I couldn't run him over because my chugging is not there yet, but that's a very nice gain, and I like running against the left side of the offensive line right there. So 2nd and 2, we go for the sweep play. I should not have spun. I should have just tried to get the extra yards and maybe gone with a stiff arm. But 1st and goal, we give the ball right here. And I talked about the truck, but that's a broken tackle from Bobby Wagner. Hell of a broken tackle right there. That made me feel pretty good. 2nd and goal right here with the toss play. And ladies and gentlemen, my touchdown drought is over. As you can see right there, we get our touchdown in the preseason, and I hit the nene, which is a disgrace to all real motherfuckers everywhere. But anyway, that's gonna do it for our preseason coverage right now. So I had a pretty strong preseason for a rookie running back, and I'm telling you right now, man, this is not gonna be a cakewalk being a force in the NFL. But my goals for this season is to try to get the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. I also want to see if I can be the leading rusher in the NFL. I think I can do it because I don't want to put our offense on the shoulders of Derek Carr and Amari Cooper. I figure like if we establish the run and then we play off of the play action and we mix it up, I think we can have a pretty balanced offense. And in real life, I'm gonna tell you right now, the Raiders are very exciting to me. From a fantasy standpoint, guys, go out and get Amari Cooper, man. The guy gets it. He's working really hard in practice. If you see his route running is amazing. You've already seen some of his work against a top cornerback and what we saw in Patrick Peterson, allegedly a top cornerback. But go ahead and pick him up on fantasy, man. I think he's going to have a big year. I think the same thing about Derek Carr. Derek Carr is going to be a young stud quarterback in the league. But anyway, 10 carries in this game for 51 yards and a touchdown. Thank you guys for showing so much love to episode number 1 of the career mode. I'm showing you the roster right now, the depth chart, because it's funny that Trent Richardson gets cut in game 2. Another big bust right there is Trent Richardson. But this is the final roster that we're going to go into the regular season with. after all of our cuts, this is our 53-man roster. I'm not going to show you the defense because you're not going to see that anyway. The left side of our offensive line looks really strong. All of them, including from the center to the left, are all 84 and above. Jamarcus Webb, our right guard, is 88. Like I said, Manelik Watson right here is going to be our weak point, so I probably won't be calling a lot to the right. Anyway, like if you're liking the career mode, subscribe if you're new, but most important, like I always say, man, take care of yourself. Peace. What's up, boys and girls? It's your boy TeK RaJ, and with the release of the legend packs, a lot of the more unpopular legends became very easy to acquire. So we dropped about 20,000 coins and got the collectibles needed. I mean, they are kind of fire, definitely worth what we invested in them. We're gonna get some pretty nice coins out of these packs. But what I really want is to be able to